afternoon and welcome to Rovers TV and the Owl Stadium for this Round 8 Kingston Press Championship clash between Dewsbury Rams and Featherstone Rovers. The team lineups this afternoon for Dewsbury Rams: number 1, Josh Guzdeck; 5, Gareth Potts; 6, Paul Sykes; 3, Jason Crooks; 2, Dale Morton; 13, Aaron Brown; 7, Andy Kane; 28, Brandon Douglas; 15, Robbie Ward; 18, Jack Teenby; 20, Aaron Ollett; 4, Lucas Walshaw; and 26, Chris Anakin. On the interchange bench, 27, Michael Seo; 30, Dan Igbenedian; 8, Mitch Stringer; and 21, Hamish Barnes. The coaches for Dewsbury this afternoon: Jonathan Schofield and Carl Price. For Featherstone Rovers, line-up is number 1, Ian Hardman; 5, Luke Briscoe; 22, Jason Walton; 3, Chris Alunya; 24, Ash Handley; 7, Anthony Thackeray; 30, Corey Aston; 10, Andy Bostock; 9, Keel Carlisle; 32, Jordan Baldwinson; 21, James Lockwood; 12, John Davis; 25, Josh Walters. On the interchange bench for Featherstone Rovers, 13, Richard Moore; 19, Matty Wilde; 8, Darryl Griffin; and 16, Luke Cooper. The coach this afternoon, John Sharp. Referee is Brandon Robinson. Good afternoon, Ben.
Good afternoon, Joanne.
How are we doing this afternoon?
Well, not too bad. We've got sunny weather on a Sunday afternoon. What's going on here?
We have second consecutive week that we've had a bit of sunshine, so quite pleasant out there. Not much of a breeze, so ideal playing conditions for a game of rugby league, one would say.
And it certainly is, and let's hope it stays that way as well. It started off in previous games. We started off with sunshine. It's soon turned to rain, so let's hope the rain holds off this afternoon.
And just looking down the Featherstone Rovers team sheet, first of all, there's been a few changes that John Sharp has made after that disappointing home loss to Toulouse last week. Namely, Corey Aston coming in at scrum half.
That's probably the biggest team news of the day for Featherstone Rovers there. Corey Aston getting a starting berth. It's the first time in the league that we haven't seen the Thackeray and Wilde partnership. So Corey Aston comes in. Matty Wilde is still available off the bench. So that obviously gives us the option, if needed throughout the game, we can bring Matty Wilde in and see what changes he can make.
And it makes you wonder whether Matty Wilde will be playing an element of a hooking role as well today, if the Aston-Thackeray partnership works out well.
Indeed, he has obviously got that side to his game as well. Keel Carlisle, as we know, has been outstanding, probably one of the most outstanding players for us this season so far. But he's put in a lot of big minutes, been playing a lot of games, playing 70, 80 minutes at a time. So obviously having Matty Wilde on the bench does give us the option. Of course, he can go in the halves if he needs to. He can go in at 9 if he needs to as well. It gives us options, which is always a good thing to have.
Certainly is. And then we've got Luke Cooper, who's started. He's not had many starts for Featherstone Rovers this season. Also, what we've seen is no Frankie Mariano this afternoon.
Indeed, that's another big piece of team news. That sees the change of that. Mariano not missing out today. Seems Lockwood move from prop forward where he was last week. He moves into the second row. Brad Tagg misses out as well today. So Josh Walters comes in loose forward for Brad Tagg. But Mariano's going to be a big miss for Featherstone Rovers.
He certainly is. He's a powerful player and grabbed that try from the Thackeray kick last week. Josh Walters was on the bench last week. He starts this week. And obviously in prop is Jordan Baldwinson, and we talked to him, Rovers TV talked to him on Thursday evening in the build-up to this match. Jordan said obviously he's been playing with Leeds and that is where he does want to play, but he says he also enjoys turning out for Featherstone Rovers, and we asked him about what he feels he could bring to the championship after having those games in Super League.
Well, obviously everyone knows that Super League is a faster game. The way the game flows, the skills are a lot faster than the Championship. That's simply the difference between full-time and part-time. But Jordan Baldwinson, having played for the Rhinos. He's now taken that step up. He's been getting that extra game time, that extra level of intensity has been brought into his game, and he will be wanting to bring that level of intensity to the Rovers this afternoon to say, look, you know, I might be playing for the Rhinos, but I can still do a job here for Featherstone Rovers. This is what I can bring. I can bring a more intense game to this side, and I think that can only benefit the Rovers today.
Certainly will. So we're just waiting for both teams to come out. They should be out in the next minute or so. They've been warming up on the field out there. Just to talk about the field, from where we're sat in the stand, it looks quite pock-marked. There's a few divots around and some bald patches, but it is fairly firm is the ground, isn't it, out there, and shouldn't cut up too much.
It is quite a firm pitch. Dry conditions. Hopefully the rain will stay away through until the end of kick-off this afternoon. So we are just waiting for the players. Like you say, they're due out any minute. But hopefully the ground will hold up. It's a good surface for playing rugby league. Hopefully we'll see some fast flowing rugby league. And I think we were saying in the Facebook Live preview a few minutes ago, how important is it for Rovers today to get a good start? They need to do to Dewsbury what Toulouse did to Featherstone Rovers last week.
Certainly do. It's very important as the away team visiting a ground to get the good start, and it's been perhaps a criticism of the Featherstone Rovers team this season in that they don't seem to get out of the blocks very quickly. It takes them a while to get going in a game, but once they do get going, they're fairly effective. So it's you kind of think, what could they do if they actually started from minute zero?
Certainly it does, and like I say, Rovers as an attacking force this year have, you know, they've proved well, and up until the game against Toulouse last week, they had one of the best defences in the championship. So what they need to do is they need to go back to what they were doing before that game against Toulouse last week. We need to tighten up that defence. We need to turn the Rams round, make them run from deep, and with tight defence, there's no reason Featherstone Rovers, with the attacking threats that we've got across the field, Featherstone Rovers is certainly capable of getting a good result here today.
They certainly are, and it's important that they do get a result here today, because it could be a potential banana skin with Dewsbury losing Glenn Morrison last week and having new coaches in charge. It could be seen as, like I say, a banana skin. It's difficult to know how the Dewsbury players will respond and how much it was that they weren't playing for Glenn Morrison.
It is, and what I think the key thing is now for these Dewsbury players, a lot of criticism has been aimed at them from their fans, their supporters, at the club in general for the way that they were playing. They are now the team with a clean slate, so they can say to us, right, okay, what's gone is gone. We can't do anything about it. We're second bottom in the league only on point, only because of Bradford's point deduction. So if Dewsbury now, they'll be looking at this with a clean slate and saying, right, we can start again now. We can build from this, and they will be able to prove that it wasn't them, they'll be looking to make a point today.
I mean, every game's crucial as Featherstone Rovers enter the field. Ian Hardman, the captain, leading his team out, but as I was going to say, it is absolutely crucial that Featherstone Rovers win this game, and it would be better if it was a really good win as well.
In terms of confidence, what Rovers need more than anything is a good win. We need to see a performance. We need to go back to see the team going back to where they were, with the team playing for each other. If somebody misses a tackle, two men backing him up already, backing up your team players, working with your team. That's something Rovers did really well in the opening game, the early rounds of the season. But last week, I think the start from Toulouse really did shock them last week, and I think.
Sorry, I was going to say it certainly did, and Featherstone Rovers are going to take the kick-off with Corey Aston, that man Corey Aston, so he's going to kick off to Dewsbury. Dewsbury have entered the field and are waiting to receive this ball. Mr. Robinson, the referee, gives the go-ahead, and Aston kicks that ball off, and it's a high lofting one over to that right-hand side, and Dewsbury do a couple of passes, but the Dewsbury players tackled by three Featherstone Rovers defenders 15 metres out away from the Dewsbury line. And the ball is driven in again there by Dewsbury. Comes over to the left. Dewsbury still 25 metres away from that, 30 metres away from their own line. They're still in their own half, so the Featherstone defence, and the early kick comes there from Andy Kane, and it goes to Ian Hardman on his own 10-metre line. He picks it up and brings it back in field. He's in the centre of the field, just gets tackled short of the Featherstone 20. Goes across now to Ash Handley, who's come into the middle of the field, but he's driven back by some good tackling there by Paul Sykes for Dewsbury.
Good early tackle there from Paul Sykes, getting his points across to Rovers. This isn't going to be an easy afternoon for you guys.
Certainly does. Here's Jordan Baldwin, so now what can he do with the ball? And again, he gets met by Aaron Ollett and Brandon Douglas for Dewsbury. Comes across to Thackeray. Thackeray puts the kick on his own 30. It goes straight into the arms, though, of Josh Guzdeck. So not the best of kicks from Anthony Thackeray there. It's Guzdeck easily makes it up to his own 40-metre line. We
need to be turning teams around. We need to be finding the ground with those kicks, making defenders turn round, giving that attacking line to move up. He took that kick on his own 15 metres line, and he made it up to his 40 on that first tackle.
Yeah, it's a shorter pitch as well, obviously, here, so it's the 30 and 40, there's only a few metres in between it, the lines, so it is quite a short pitch here at Dewsbury Rams. So Dewsbury into the Featherstone 40 now. It goes out on the right with Kane passing it out to the right-hand centre for Dewsbury. And the ball's played, it comes across into the middle. Kane with the ball again, puts a high kick up to the left. Luke Briscoe leaps well for it, but he's tackled. It's a good chase there by Dewsbury with Aaron Ollett and Chris Anakin.
Jason Walton did a really good job then as well, shielding Ash Hanley when he was going up for the ball. The chase from the Rams was coming in. It was a fast chase, but with the way Walton shielded Ash Hanley, gave him that extra couple of seconds to take that ball on.
Here's Bostock now on the Featherstone 20. It goes to Lockwood. Lockwood drives it in. It's all one-man rugby at the moment, and Dewsbury defence is handling this. It comes to Thackeray though, and Thackeray passes it out to the left-hand side, and it's taken well there by Ash Handley. He did well to take that ball. In fact,
he did very well to take that ball.
The referees said it's the turnover. It must have been the last tackle. I missed that, sorry, and it's the last tackle, so it's a turnover. So again, poor play on the last tackle by Featherstone Rovers.
That's shocking play on the last tackle. Ash Hanley running the ball into line. Whether he didn't see a signal or whether it chose.
He couldn't have done anything. But here's Dewsbury though, here on the left with Morton. Morton got some space, but Walton covers well. Dewsbury 5 metres away from the Featherstone line as the ball's played now. Comes across into the middle. It's shown, and Dewsbury stuttered a little bit there, and they're tackled on their own 10-metre line. They're looking dangerous. Featherstone not really got out of the blocks again this week yet. So Dewsbury attacking that Featherstone line in the early stages of this game. We're in the 4th minute. The ball is played, it comes across. And there's a bit of a show and go by Aaron Brown, but it's the last tackle for Dewsbury, and the kick comes through. It goes behind the post, it's picked up by Lockwood, and he's tackled behind his own try line, so a dropout is forced by Dewsbury there.
Indeed, and we've seen a response here from the Rams. It's a good start again from the opposition to Featherstone Rovers, pinning Rovers back. But what a tackle from Jason Walton it was earlier in that set to stop the chance down this near side for Dale Morton. The line looked to be begging at one stage, but he came across so quickly. It was a crunching tackle by him.
But that was after the poor decision by Thackeray on the last to pass it to Ash Hanley, and Ash Hanley actually had no choice on that last tackle. He had to stoop for the ball and did well to take it. It was a handover though. And so it's all Dewsbury at the moment. They're on the Featherstone 30 after that dropout. The ball is played, and Robbie Ward's waiting at dummy half, and it goes to Brandon Douglas, who takes it in. Ward now out to Anakin. Anakin back to Kane, and then it goes to Ollett. Ollett is tackled 15 metres away from the Featherstone line. Comes into the middle again with Kane, and Anakin juggles with the ball on the 10-metre, but he manages to retrieve it again. So Dewsbury 8 metres away now as the ball's played. It comes across to the right with Kane. Kane puts a ball to Jack Teamby, and Jack Teamby is over the line. Got past some Featherstone Rovers tackling there.
Indeed, poor tackling from Featherstone Rovers on that left-hand edge of defence. It was a simple drop-off pass from Andy Kane, and it was taken by the Rams, who were able to drop over that line. Not the start that Featherstone Rovers wanted. We've got barely 5 minutes on the clock, and it's Dewsbury Rams 4, Featherstone Rovers 0.
Rams try scoring.
The ball came across there to the right to Andy Kane, but he didn't carry on with that movement to the right. He brought it back into the left-hand side to Jack Teamby, and it looked as though Teamby was actually going to be wrapped up, but the Featherstone Rovers tacklers fell off him and he forced his way over the line. So Paul Sykes just teeing up this conversion attempt now. It's about 10 metres, 10 to 15 metres to the right of those uprights. Not the start that Featherstone Rovers wanted, and this is exactly what they were saying in training that they were going to try and prevent.
Indeed, and what we need to look at as well is Featherstone Rovers have hardly seen the ball in this first 5 minutes. The only set they really had going forwards. On that last tackle, the ball was on that last play. It was Anthony Thackeray ran that ball in, but a loose pass, whether he didn't realise it was the last or whether he was going for the power play, but it was a pass that was low around the ankles, and Briscoe could do nothing with it as Paul Sykes converts that try, and it's all come from that mistake. And we've got 5 minutes gone, and it's Dewsbury Rams 6, Featherstone Rovers 0.
It has come from that mistake on the last, and the previous set of 6 as well, Ben, was a poor set of 6 in terms of the fact that Thackeray had to kick it from the Featherstone 30 metre, and he kicked it straight down the throat of Josh Guzdek, and they made metres there. So Featherstone have got to be a lot better at finishing their sets.
Yeah, they have indeed, and what they need to look at as well is when they are getting in those right areas, finding the ground with a kick, turn that Dewsbury defence around, make them pick the ball up from deep on this pitch. We talked about the way it's cut up. It's not the best condition, and Rovers need to start utilising that better.
So Featherstone Rovers have kicked off now. Dewsbury on that second tackle, and they're going down the right-hand channel with the... Over on there, I can't quite see who it is, but it comes over to the middle with Andy Kane and Anakin now. Anakin on the halfway line is tackled by 4 Featherstone Rovers defenders. Ward in at dummy half, is waiting for the ball to be played. The Dewsbury looking for a penalty, but they're not getting it. Comes across to the left here with Guzdek and Crooks, but Walton tackles Crooks. That'll be an interesting battle. They're both big centres. It's the last tackle. It comes across now, and the ball goes up in the air from Aaron Brown, but it's caught well by Anthony Thackeray, and a Dewsbury player offside, so it's a Featherstone Rovers penalty, the first penalty of the game.
What Rovers need now, John, is they need a good, clean set. They need to get some field position, a controlled set, and even if they don't score off that set, they need to find the turf, find touch with the kick, turn their arms around and give themselves a bit of possession, a bit of something to build on.
Certainly do. Now Carlisle takes the tap, it goes to Aston and then Baldwinson, but Baldwinson is met by 2 Dewsbury defenders and goes to the ground quite easily, just short of halfway. Ball's played. Dewsbury seem to be up very quickly there. That's a forward pass to Lockwood, surely. The referee's not spotted it.
That was a mile forward.
Certainly was. The ball now goes across into the middle with Bostock. Bostock trying to fend off the Dewsbury players, but they're tenacious in the defence and pull him to the floor. And it comes over to Thackeray now on the left. He throws a dummy and then it goes to Lockwood again over on that left-hand side. Featherstone 30 metres away from the Dewsbury line. It comes into the middle with Thackeray. Thackeray lays off a pass to Baldwinson. Dewsbury defence holding firm though. It's the last tackle. Ball's played, it coming out to the left to Thackeray. Thackeray puts a little chip over the top, but again that's easy for Guzdek to take. He's stood in a good position.
Well read there by Josh Guzdek. Read that play superbly, in the right position to take that kick on the full again. But it's a penalty now for Dewsbury Rams, not clearing the ruck. So not only a disappointing kick taken on the full, Rovers conceding territory now with a soft penalty.
So yeah, it wasn't a bad kick option from Thackeray. Guzdek did take it on the full. Wouldn't have been bad for Dewsbury to have been turned over in that area of the field. However, the penalty, the indiscipline that's been caused has brought them up to the halfway line as the tap's taken by Ward, and it comes into the centre of the field. They're still on halfway though, because the Featherstone Rovers defence was up quickly there. Comes across now. So Dewsbury driving it in. Walters, Bostock and Carlisle in that tackle. Anakin takes it over the 30-metre line. We know that he's a strong runner, is Anakin, so he's always a danger with ball in hand.
Just about to say the same thing about Anakin there. We've seen that from his time when he was at Featherstone as well.
Brandon Douglas there takes it over the 20-metre line, and it comes across to the right with Kane. Kane to Sykes, and Sykes has lost the ball there in the tackle, so it's going to be a scrum put down 15 metres away from the Featherstone line. Featherstone let off that time.
They were let off. It was a good move from Andy Kane.
It's a Dewsbury ball. Sorry, Ben.
Sorry, he's giving it to Dewsbury. He must have seen a Rovers hand in there. So the Rams have got another attacking set in the Rovers 20, and we've got 11 minutes on the clock. It's Dewsbury 6, Featherstone Rovers 0.
Yes, sorry for cutting in there. I just noticed that it was given to Dewsbury. Was that a scrum? And like you say, a Featherstone hand over on that left-hand side for Featherstone must have been in. And it comes to Crooks now from the scrum. Crooks with his elbow in Aston's throat.
This is a massive set for Featherstone Rovers. They need to keep the Rams out here.
The ball goes now into the middle of the field with Brandon Douglas, who drives to the line. Almost gets over. He's only inches short. Is Douglas, and he plays the ball to Ward, and Dewsbury lining up now, coming across to Kane. That man Kane is dancing around with footwork. There's obstruction though, and there's a penalty to Featherstone Rovers.
Yeah, playing as the nose on your face, that one. Andy Kane dancing around. There was a Rams player, moved into the attacking line, blocked the defence from getting to Andy Kane, and the penalty conceded there. So a relieving penalty it'll be. Jack Teamby's just down in back play whilst the clock is stopped, just getting some treatment, but it's been all Dewsbury at the minute, Joanne.
It has. It's like a repeat of last week's game, isn't it?
It is, and Rovers don't seem to have learned the lessons from last week at the minute. You know, they're inviting Dewsbury onto them. They just need to get hold of this ball. We need to see some territory and possession for Featherstone.
Well, there's some here because Featherstone are going to take the tap on their own 30. It comes across with Baldwinson. Baldwinson over the 40-metre line. That's a good drive by him. He makes the full 10 metres, does Jordan. Ball played now. It goes, misses Bostock out. It goes to Thackeray. Thackeray to Davis. Davis is in space. Davis is through. Does Guzdeck to beat, but Guzdeck tackles Davis. Dummy half there. It comes across to Walters. Walters to Aston. Aston with a poor pass though, it goes way behind the Featherstone Rovers line, and Lockwood has to track back to pick that up, so Featherstone losing ground and momentum with that pass from Aston, that loose pass anyway. And there's a penalty to Dewsbury, presumably for Featherstone moving off the mark.
Not playing the ball correctly,
James Lockwood.
That's sacrilege. When you're in that position with just in the build-up to that move, first of all, chalk and cheese from Corey Aston, an absolutely delightful pass to put John Davis through the gap. And John Davis hit that gap superbly, made a lot of yardage forward, but then on the very next play, Corey Aston with a shocking pass that went behind everybody, and then the mistake not playing the ball correctly. When you're in that position, and you've barely had any ball anyways. Rams have coughed up possession.
It's a free play. Oh no, the referee says there's 2 knock-ons, so Featherstone are going to get the put in at this scrum. I thought it was a free play there, and Featherstone looked to be good for playing on with that. So this scrum's going to be 5 metres just inside the Featherstone Rovers half. Featherstone looking a little bit nervy out there at the moment. They need to settle down a little bit, and from the base of the scrum it goes to Hardman. Hardman takes it over the halfway line, plays the ball. It comes to Walton now. Walton pushes off the first tackler, but it's good defence by Dewsbury that wrap him up. Plays the ball now. It comes across with Carlisle. Carlisle holds it, goes to Thackeray. Thackeray loses the ball though, and so he coughs up possession, and Dewsbury get it back, and now Anakin coughs up possession for Dewsbury, so it's a bit of a knock-on-a-thon at the moment.
Is he going to, what's he going to say here? He's going to give head and feed
Featherstone,
to Featherstone Rovers.
The play had already been done, hadn't it? So the advantage had been played already, so it had to go to
You're right
Featherstone.
in what he's saying though. Rovers have got, you can see the nervousness in the play, which is maybe a continuation of how they played last week and the result from last week, but Rovers just need to clear their heads. They're still, you know, it's very early days. We've had 15 minutes, it's Dewsbury 6, Rovers 0. If Rovers can get points on the board, that they can go on from this.
Briscoe with the ball there, he's lucky to get away with that. He was looking to pass the ball in the tackle. Referee said that Igchout had held, so he's allowing Briscoe to play the ball again. He was lucky to get away with that. It could have been a knock-on anyway. Bostock with the offload in the tackle. Comes to Baldwinson. Across to Lockwood, who's tackled well there. I think it was by Gareth Potts out there, and anyway, it comes back into the middle of the field with Baldwinson. Baldwinson takes it up 20
That's
metres.
a great drive from Jordan Baldwinson up to that 20-metre
Ball's
line.
played now to Carlisle, goes to Bostock. Bostock pushes two Dewsbury players off. Comes to Carlisle. Carlisle 10 metres away from the Dewsbury line. What can Featherstone do here? It goes to Thackeray. Across to Lockwood. Lockwood with the pass out there to Olunya. But Alunya's pulled down short. He's a few metres away. It's the last tackle. Ash Handley in at dummy half. It goes to Thackeray. Thackeray with a little chip over the top to the middle. It bounces off the crossbar. And it goes to Hardman. Hardman does well to get it to Luke Briscoe, who dances around. Luke Briscoe's going to score!
Absolutely beautiful step from Luke Briscoe. The kick from Anthony Thackeray, cannoning off the crossbar. It went back 20 metres on the angle. Briscoe picked it up 20 metres out, 10 metres in from touch on the right-hand side. Stepped inside one Rams player on the angle, and then danced round the other and over the line for a superb try. That's Rovers hit back. It's Dewsbury 6, Featherstone 4.
That's just what the doctor ordered, wasn't it? I think Anthony Thackeray's been going for the crossbar challenge there. Put that little kick in. John Davis was trying to look for it. It ended up hitting the crossbar. Could have been dangerous. You know, Dewsbury could have picked that ball up and scampered away. As it was, Ian Hardman picked it up, got it to Luke Briscoe, who, like you say, showed amazing footwork to dance around the Dewsbury defenders. They looked as though they were stuck in the mud. And he managed to score that try. So we've got Corey Aston with the tee for Featherstone Rovers. It's about 20 metres to the right of the uprights. It's behind a pillar for me, so I'm just seeing him teeing it up now.
I can see Corey Aston, but I can't see the touch judges, so.
I can see the touch judges, so here Aston goes. Strikes the ball, and it looks to be through the uprights. Yes, the touch judges confirm that. So after 17 minutes of play, it's Dewsbury Rams 6, Featherstone Rovers 6.
And Featherstone Rovers did really need that to have the next score on the board to get a bit of confidence and belief back into their play. They can now look to build on this and go forward.
18, Jack Teamby. They're replaced by number 8, Mitch Springer, and number
Certainly
13,
do.
Daniel Igbenedi.
Paul Sykes going to take the kick-off for Dewsbury Rams. I think there's going to be a head injury interchange. Danny Evans is holding the card up. Andy Bostock it is that's going to come off when Richard Moore enter the field. So he must have had a little knock to the head there because it is a medical interchange.
A concussion interchange, yeah. It's a like-for-like player almost as well. Both very similar games, so they both will. Richard Moore will compliment Andy Bostock, and he takes that first drive in.
So Moore with the ball now on the Featherstone 10-metre line. Ball's played, it goes to Josh Walters, who tries to take it forward, but two Dewsbury defenders drive him back. It's Robbie Ward and Chris Anakin that do that to him. Jordan Baldwinson now, he's met by Dan Igbenedian.
Good luck with that one.
And Lucas Walshaw, I can say that one better. So Featherstone now with Josh Walters playing the ball. Comes to Richard Moore. Moore will be looking to offload this, but Dewsbury have wrapped him up well. He does make it over the 40-metre line though.
Really good work there.
Second go, that should be a penalty to Featherstone Rovers. Like you say, good work by Richard Moore, wasn't it?
Good work by Richard Moore, but also credit the Dewsbury defence in that first instance. The way they wrapped that ball up before conceding the penalty. They knew he was going to try and get that away, but one of the Dewsbury defenders got a hand wrapped around that ball straight away to stop that offload.
And they also stopped him from playing the ball quickly, so that's why they gave the penalty away. So that brings Featherstone marching up into the Dewsbury half. The tap's taken, and it comes into the infield with Jordan Baldwinson. So Featherstone are 22 metres away from that Dewsbury line. Can they add on to the score that they scored 2 minutes ago?
If we can get another quick try here, you might see the Rams.
To Richard Moore. Richard Moore on the 10-metre line goes to Josh Walters. Walters 5 metres away. Plays the ball now to Carlisle. It goes across to Baldwinson. Baldwinson drives to the line. I think he's held up over the line though, is Jordan Baldwinson.
Absolutely superb effort there from Jordan Baldwinson, trying to get over that line, but good credit the Rams defence there. Able to hold him up, and it'll go back 10 metres.
So Baldwinson plays the ball to Carlisle. Carlisle to Aston. Aston to Davis, who steps inside. Takes it to 5 metres away from the Dewsbury line. It's the last tackle. The ball's played. It comes across to Aston. Aston puts a crossfield kick. It's too high, though. It goes to Handley. Handley had to jump, and it was far too high, was that kick from Aston. So it's going to be a Dewsbury turnover on the 10-metre line.
Disappointing kick there from Corey Aston. Like I say, far too high for Ash Hanley to take. Good attacking opportunity there, not taken. And we've got 20 minutes gone here at the Ram Stadium. And it's Dewsbury 6, Featherstone Rovers 6.
So Dewsbury with Igbenedian taking it up. Takes it up to just short of the Dewsbury 30-metre line.
Number 27, Michael Sear.
I thought he'd lost that ball there in the play of the ball, but he just managed to hold on to it, Igbenedian.
Yeah, so the ball's taken and it goes from dummy half there. I think that's Michael Seo who's just entered the field. And the ball now with Igbenedian. Just gone over the 40 and he's looking to offload, and he does. So the ball comes out there, and I think it's Guzdet there that's running around the back, and that looks like a high tackle from Corey Aston, but it's not spotted by the officials. It's the last tackle. The ball comes to Brown, who puts the high kick in the air, and Ash Handley competes for that well and takes it under immense pressure by Dewsbury.
What a take that was from Ash Handley. A really good high kick there from Aaron Brown, put Ash Handley under all sorts of pressure. The chase was good from the Rams as well, and then Ash Handley just leapt higher than anybody.
Luke Briscoe there with an offload. It sort of trickled back, did the ball, so Featherstone lucky to get away with that. And now looks like a forward pass from Thackeray to Hardman, but it's not picked up by the officials. So Featherstone just short of 30 metres away from their own line, bringing it, trying to get into that Dewsbury half. It's an offload by Moore to Baldwinson. Baldwinson then gets it across to Lockwood. Lockwood to Thackeray. Thackeray to Walters. Featherstone not going forward here, but they do now with Walters with a great offload to Walton. Walton dances around the Dewsbury defenders and makes it up to... Oh, he's lost the ball though in that tackle. He made it up to 20 metres and is appealing for it stolen, but Guzdet comes up with the ball for Dewsbury. And Josh Walters now in the tackle with Richard Moore. Dewsbury with the possession.
It's end-to-end stuff this now, isn't it?
Certainly is. So just short of halfway Dewsbury are. The ball comes into the middle with Mitch Stringer, the unmistakable figure of Mitch Stringer. He's a big bat lad, isn't he?
He's a big boy.
And then the ball's played Seo. Seo gets it out to Kane. Kane out to Walshaw. Dewsbury 40 metres away from that Featherstone line. Comes to Anakin. Anakin shows it, comes across now to Aaron Ullett. I think that must be the fourth tackle, and Dewsbury 25 metres away. The ball comes through and it's an early kick there from Brown, and he just gets it in the field of play just before the corner flag into touch, so it'll be a Featherstone scrum on their own 10-metre line.
So Rovers then managing to hold the Rams out. We're going to see another interchange in a moment. We're going to see Darryl Griffin coming on. I assume after this scrum has taken place, but Rams turning Rovers over in the right place from their point of view on their own 10-metre line, and they will have the length of the field to go.
Certainly will. So Corey Aston just waiting to to put this ball into the scrum. It's 23 minutes gone. It's Dewsbury 6, Featherstone 6, and Dewsbury put a push on at the scrum, and it's picked up by, but it's bounced over the line, so it's no try. It was picked up by a Dewsbury player in Aaron Brown, and the ball's going to the 20 metre. There's a fighting back play between Richard Moore and a couple of Dewsbury players, and both teams get involved now. There's a lot of argy-bargy going on out there. I think there was, and Billy Mallinson quite rightly is taking Richard Moore away because he's already at the disciplinary committee next week for punching, so we don't want to add to that, do we?
We don't. The push at the scrum though, something we see very rarely nowadays. Most teams will just accept the scrum has taken place and they'll work on the defensive line and go from there, but Dewsbury pushing at the scrum and just lucky for Rovers they did knock that ball on.
Dewsbury, it was a ploy, wasn't it? They put that kick in on purpose. They put it in just before the touchline. The referee's just talking to the touch judges at the moment in back play, so we'll let you know what the outcome of this is. I think what happened leading up to that little biff is going to his back pocket is the referee, but I'm not sure if it's a tissue or a card he's getting out. It looks white. No, he's going to his back pocket. There's going to be some yellow cards.
Oh no, is it yellow or red?
I hope it's yellow. I really do at this stage of the game. But what happened was the Dewsbury didn't give the ball up, and it's very important now with these quick taps and the 7 tackles that you get ensuing from the ball being lost like that and over the line, that it's important that the ball is turned over by the opposing team. Dewsbury didn't give that ball up, and in back play we had a bit of biff, so a yellow card for Mitch Stringer, is it? I can't see who he's pointing to. Nobody's moving.
Paul Sykes has gone over to speak to Mr. Robinson.
Nope, still no Dewsbury play. Oh, is it Dan Igbenedian?
It is. It's
good. That'll
Igbenedian.
give us 10 minutes off from having to pronounce his name.
Are we going to see a yellow card on our side as well? I think. Oh, it's red.
It's a red for Richard Moore. Oh my gosh, that's not good news for Featherstone Rovers, and he did go flying in there, but the touch judge obviously saw something that Richard Moore shouldn't have done. He's got a red card.
Richard Moore having a chat and getting involved with the Dewsbury players there. It was Mitch Stringer looked to be goading Richard Moore almost as he was leaving the field then.
I think he was just having a chat with him as he left the field. It's all part of the game of rugby league. So who's the penalty going to go to, or is it just play on? I think it's just play on, isn't it? So I'm not sure what's going on down in front of us there, but it's certainly livened the game up as Jordan Baldwinson leaves the field for Darryl Griffin. Let's get back to the play. So Featherstone Rovers are going to have to play out the rest of this game with 12 men. It's 12 all at the moment in terms of number of players on the field. As Luke Briscoe is wrestled to the ground by Dewsbury on the halfway line. It comes to Walton now. Walton takes it forward to the Dewsbury 40-metre line. Comes across to Griffin with his first touch of the ball in this game. Griffin drives it forward. That's a good drive by Griffin. He takes it up to the Dewsbury 20. Ball is played. It comes across now to Davis. Davis puts a little kick in. There's not much of a chase, and Guzdeck but does kick it dead though and forces a dropout. So good play by John Davis.
That was a good kick from John Davis there. Behind the line, turning Guzdeck round. It held up just enough to make Guzdeck have to play it because of the chase from Jason Walton. And this is what Rovers need when they're down to 12 men, to conserve their energy in defence from a defensive point of view. The more they have the ball in hand, the better it is for us now.
And for me, this is what needs to stop at dropouts. I see it so often with a player going down on the field, in the field of play injured. This player for Dewsbury is only half a metre, it's Aaron Brown, half a metre in the field of play, down supposedly injured, getting treatment from the physio, and it delays the dropout and gives the defending team a breather. We need to bring in the Australian rule where dropouts are timed.
10 seconds into
It is, and that's what needs to happen, because dropouts are given almost an excuse for the opposing team to have a breather these days. And so often you see a player drop down in the field of play, just in the field of play anyway. Sykes with the dropout there, having me rant.
I agree with you entirely.
It goes past the Featherstone Rovers, it goes to the Featherstone Rovers 20, does that dropout. It totally fooled the bounce of the ball. We talked about the pitch, it was an awkward bounce and it totally fooled the Featherstone Rovers defenders. Josh Walters had to run back for it, so it was, from a Dewsbury point of view, a very good dropout. Anyway, it comes across to the left with Lockwood. Lockwood to Alunya. Alunya to Hanley. Hanley with space on the left-hand side. Hanley to Hardman. Hardman goes over for a try, and he goes over just to the left of the upright.
Absolutely outstanding effort from Featherstone Rovers. The ball swung out to the left so quickly through the hands of Thackeray to Ash Hanley. Ash Hanley found a space on the outside to get down that touchline, and then the inside pass to who else but Ian Hardman backing up. A superb try for Featherstone Rovers. The second try we've seen, the two top quality tries for Rovers, and we've got 26 minutes on the clock, and it's Dewsbury round 6, Featherstone Rovers 10.
That was a lovely bit of play, like you say, over on that left-hand side. The ball went through hands. It was a quick pass from Chris Alunya. After a pass from Lockwood, it was a quick pass from Alunya. Got it out to Ash Handley, who had space on that left-hand side. He didn't panic. He held the ball. And as you say, that man Hardman backing up. He's absolutely fantastic support player, is Ian Hardman. Backing up and got his 5th try of the season. And again, he's chipping away at that Paul Newlove target. I say it every week.
But that's Ian Hardman all over. It's such for me, it's one of the best fullbacks in the division, if not the best.
In terms of supporting play and also his positional sense for kicks, as Corey Aston converts that try, so that brings Featherstone further in the lead. Dewsbury round 6, Featherstone Rovers 12 after 27 minutes of play almost. So Featherstone just nosing there, putting their noses in front, but it's going to be an uphill struggle for them in this second half when they're going to be a man down for the full 40.
What's so important for Featherstone Rovers now is the way that they control the game. The way you're going to be looking now more than ever, being down to 12 men. For the way you're looking to your halfbacks for them to control the game. The kicking game needs to be good. Needs to be turning the Rams round, we talked about the way that Dewsbury taking time for to give the players a rest. We need to be doing the same thing for our players.
So the kick-off now from Dewsbury. John Davies catches it. He evades the first attempt to tackle, and the second from Lucas Walshaw and Paul Sykes. And the second goal from Anakin on Davis on the floor, but referee's not giving anything. Ash Handley now with the ball takes it over his own 20-metre line. He plays the ball messily. It's going to be a penalty. Could have very well been a knock-on there against Ash Handley, but it's a penalty for Featherstone Rovers.
I thought they'd just lost that ball in the tackle, to be fair, but Mr. Robinson said no, there was a hand in there. Rovers will take that.
They certainly will. I think he was trying to play the ball and Dewsbury were interfering with him as he did. So the tap's taken just short of halfway. Lockwood now takes it over the halfway line and he's tackled. Goes down to the floor again. It comes across to Thackeray. Thackeray to Alunya. They're going down that left-hand side again. Alunya now plays the ball. And Carlisle goes down the blind side and he's tackled 20 metres away from the Dewsbury line. So he makes some more metres forward. It comes into the middle of the field with Griffin. Griffin to Aston. Aston to Hardman, who has to put a quick pass to Walton. And Walton gets it out then to Briscoe. Briscoe gets tackled 5 metres short. Hardman felt that tackle. And I think the referee's going to stop the play. He's given a penalty, in fact, for interfering with Luke Briscoe as he was trying to play that ball. They're not clearing the ruck. But Ian Hardman down on the floor, that's a more worrying sign for Featherstone Rovers.
It is, especially when you think that Rovers are down to 12 men for the remainder of this game. Ian Hardman's such an influential player, and one of the things I was going to say as well, being down to 12 men at this early stage, is when you look to the players like Ian Hardman, your Darryl Griffins, your experienced players out there who are to help the younger players in the team. Because the younger players are going to, the temperatures might be rising, So you just need the experience of those players just to help keep your team calm.
You certainly do. Hardman's back on his feet, thankfully, and the ball's played. It comes across now to Davis. Davis gets clattered, though, a few metres short by CO. And there's holding down there. Will the referee put Dewsbury on a team warning? He's not yet. A tap comes in again from that penalty, and Lockwood drives it in.
They must be running it close, though, surely.
Yeah, it's 2 penalties consecutive. That's the 3rd penalty. Surely, referee. Surely you've got to put them on a warning. You can't do 3 consecutive penalties in a matter of seconds almost.
It's not going to, you know.
No. So Featherstone looking now whether to go for 2. The tee's come on, I think, with I think it's Josh Hardcastle there with the tee.
I think the signals come from the bench there to send the tee out. What it does as well, this, John, it gives Rovers an 8-point lead, a 2-score lead. When you think that they are down to the 12 men for the remainder, when Dewsbury get the 13 players back on the field, having that 2-score lead might just put a bit of doubt into the minds of the Dewsbury players, perhaps?
Possibly. It's a psychological advantage always being 2 scores ahead, isn't it? So Corey Aston it is who's going to be taking this conversion. The penalty even, not a conversion. Wishful thinking. So it's about 15 metres to the left of the uprights. Strikes the ball. Goes through the middle of the post, so that puts Featherstone further ahead. It's Dewsbury Rams 6, Featherstone Rovers 14 after 30 minutes of play in this first half. Dewsbury going to come forward very slowly to take this kick-off. I think they can't wait for them to get a full complement of players again. The referees stopped the clock. Definitely doing delaying tactics here, aren't they? Because they know that once Mick Stringer, when Igbinedian comes back on, that they will have a full complement and an extra player over Featherstone Rovers.
And it's important that Rovers need to keep this momentum going that they have got at the minute, Joanne. You know, they've scored a couple of points, they've turned that defeat 14 points unanswered. They need to keep that momentum going now.
Certainly do, and the kick-off comes and Harman passes it to Walters. Walters plays the ball and comes out to Darryl Griffin, who takes it over the Featherstone Rovers 20. Ball's played Carlisle to Davis, who has to reach forward for that. He does well and he gets the offload to Luke Briscoe on the right wing. Luke Briscoe now looking, he has to come inside though because Guzdeck got across well for Dewsbury. Again, interference with Briscoe as he tries to get his feet, but it comes over to the left now with Aston to Thackeray to Hardman. Hardman lays it off to Lockwood round the back, and Lockwood 15 metres away from the Dewsbury line plays the ball. Comes into the middle with Thackeray. Thackeray across to Davis. Davis nearly got the ball away to Walton. It's waved to Clown. Is the tackle count, and Luke Briscoe now steps inside for his, and he gets over for his 2nd of the day.
Fantastic effort from Luke Briscoe, but again, that has come, Joanne, from the excellent pass further back from John Davis to put Briscoe in the clear in the first place. Briscoe down the line. And then as the play progressed, Dewsbury got a hand in the tackle. The referee wiped it clean. But Luke Briscoe, both of his tries this afternoon, he's had so much work to do to score them as well. And on this occasion, he stepped inside again and managed to get over the line. And Featherstone Rovers are stretching this lead out further, and they're down to 12 men. And it's Dewsbury 6, Featherstone Rovers 18, and we've got 7.5 minutes left.
That's right, Corey Aston. Got a kick, his most difficult kick of the afternoon is 8 metres in from this right-hand side touchline. But as you say, Ben, what a lovely layoff. It was a soft pass almost, wasn't it, to Luke Briscoe on this right-hand side. And Luke Briscoe, he showed a clean pair of heels to Chris Anakin, but Guzdeck came across well to cover. And like you say, from that ensuing play, the ball was touched by a Dewsbury player, and then it came out eventually to Luke Briscoe, who did well. Here's Aston now. And he gets the ball through the middle of the uprights. So Featherstone going up in 6s this afternoon. Dewsbury 6, Featherstone Rovers 20 after 33 minutes of play.
And what you've got to look at as well, Joanne, is how much confidence can Rovers take from this? They're down to 12 men for the remainder of this game now. The Dewsbury Rams took an early lead after only 5 minutes to go 6-0 up. And in the 28 minutes, in the half hour since almost, Rovers have scored 20 unanswered points, of which the last probably 5-10 minutes of that game, they've been down to 12 men.
Certainly have. It's almost as if they've been rejuvenated by going down to 12 men, isn't it?
It certainly seems to have gone up again since that fracas and the sending off of Richard Moore.
So the kick-off from Guzdeck is taken by his opposite full-back Ian Hardman, who lays it off to Griffin, Griffin drives well. Griffin has been really effective since he's come onto the field. Comes across now to Davis on this right-hand side. This time he gets the ball away again, and it comes onto the inside with into the middle with Aston, and then to Walters. Walters is tackled just short of the 30-metre line.
What a first half Johnny Davis is having, Joanne.
Certainly is. Thackeray with the layoff pass to James Lockwood, who drives it in just a couple of metres short of halfway now. Still in the Featherstone half, but Thackeray with an inside pass to Walters. And Walters is brought down. Comes across now to Thackeray. Thackeray with a little dance, little half break. He plays the ball very quickly. It's on the last though, and it's to Davis on the last. It's to Walton. It is the last tackle though, and he gets tackled 5 metres short of the Dewsbury line, so it's a turnover there.
I'm not sure that the players realised that was the last tackle. Then we've got a couple of Dewsbury players down in back play as well. It was a good effort though by Walton, but unfortunately on the last tackle I just don't think he was able to get over. Time is called off though with 5.5 minutes left of this first half, and it's been an impressive first half from Rovers since that first Dewsbury score.
It has, yeah. We were, I think Featherstone were looking very nervy, but like I say, since Darryl Griffin's entered the field, a combination of that and the sending off of Richard Moore, the nerves seem to have gone as Bostock replaces Griffin now. As Featherstone Rovers make that interchange.
So that's the concussion interchange that is reversed. Griffin
it's the medical interchange, isn't it? Yes, that's true.
Darryl Griffin came on originally for Andy Bostock as a concussion interchange. That has now been reversed, so that is no longer in effect. So that in effect is a free interchange. The Rams are now making a concussion interchange.
Brandon Douglas, who was down injured, again that's a medical interchange for Dewsbury, and Jack Teamby's entered the field. So Dewsbury from that turnover, they're driving the ball forward, and Igbenedian's back on, so Dewsbury are back up to a full complement of players. Of course, Featherstone Rovers down to 12 for the remainder of this game, and that's a penalty against Featherstone Rovers. Igbenedian trying to play the ball, and there was a Featherstone foot in there, so the referee's given the penalty to Dewsbury, so that's going to put them more metres up the field.
What's more important as well, John, is when you are down to 12 men, it is important, it's massive that you keep your discipline. You don't want to be giving away cheap yards that are going to sap up the energy and give the opposition easy metres.
You certainly don't, as CEO's going to take the tap for Dewsbury. It goes to Igbenedian. Like I say, Featherstone down to 12 for the remainder of this game after Richard Moore's sending off. So it's 35 minutes gone in this match. It's Dewsbury 6, Featherstone Rovers 20, as Dewsbury take it over the 40-metre line. And it goes to Brown, and across to Anakin. Anakin pushes Astin off, and he comes back into the middle of the field. He's running sideways at the moment, though.
Such an elusive runner. If he gets a bit of free room, it's Chris Anakin with the way he drives that ball in.
He was only going sideways, not forwards, I would add. It goes to Kane now on the 20-metre line. Guzdeck, Bostock misses Guzdeck, and it goes to Jack Teamby. And he's knocked on as Teamby, so Featherstone Rovers are going to get this scrum on the 10-metre line.
It was a good break from Teamby. He saw that gap, he went through that gap well. Rovers missed it, Rovers defenders missing that tackle, but just not able to hold on. It was a good position there for Dewsbury as well. If they had held on and a quick play the ball, they were looking dangerous.
Yeah, Ian Hardman just getting some attention from the physio again. I think he's still feeling the effects of that knock. He did take a harsh knock as he put that quick pass in and there was an onrushing Dewsbury defender. Anyway, Aston with the put in at the scrum, and he was chased by a Dewsbury player, but he managed to get it away to Alunya. And Alunya is tackled 15 metres away from his own line. It comes to Handley now. Handley plays the ball. Looks as though Kale Carlisle has come off the field and Matty Wilde has replaced him, so that'll be a hooker for a hooker by the looks of it. And there the ball's played to Matty Wilde. Nearly forgot to go without the ball.
I don't think he was ready for that then. He just seemed to stand there just for half a second, didn't he?
I think he heard his name being called out on the tannoy. Anyway, here comes Aston. Aston on the Dewsbury 40. It's the last tackle. Comes across to Davis. Davis puts a reverse kick into the middle of the field. It's taken easily though by Dewsbury.
We've seen quite a lot of kicking from John Davis in this first half. We've got Corey Aston and we've got Anthony Thackeray did.
Sorry, Dewsbury with a half break. 30 metres away from the Dewsbury line, should I say. And there's a penalty to Featherstone Rovers. And I think this may be for moving off the mark. No, not playing the ball properly. So I think they're even Stevens on those penalties this afternoon of the two teams.
In all fairness to Mr. Robinson, at least he is being consistent. A lot of Dewsbury fans around the stadium not happy, but that has gone one each way, so at least he is being consistent with it.
And that penalty given to Featherstone Rovers on the Dewsbury 30, so very important, and they're going to go for two. So Josh Harkastle brings the tee on for Featherstone Rovers. It's not the easiest of kicks. It's probably 10 metres in from that left-hand touchline and 32 metres away from the sticks. So it's not the easiest of kicks, but Corey Aston's shown this afternoon that he's quite a mean goal kicker.
He has, and I think the timing of this is probably playing the biggest factor as to why they're opting to go for the two as opposed to running it from there. We're into the last 90 seconds of this first half, and it's Dewsbury Rams 6, Featherstone Rovers 20. Rovers will have the full 40 minutes with 12 men of the second half, but they'll be going in with a commanding lead.
Certainly will, yeah. Whether or not this kick goes over from Aston. Featherstone Rovers getting the lion's share of penalties in this first half, it must be said. So Aston going for this kick. And it's through the middle of the sticks, so that puts Featherstone Rovers further ahead. Dewsbury Rams 6, Featherstone Rovers 22 with less than a minute to half-time in this Round 8 Kingston Press Championship game.
Do you think you talked about Rovers getting the lion's shares of penalty, do you think part of that is the fact that Dewsbury are a team that's struggling at the bottom of the league? They're trying to get the game to their place, to their pace, trying to slow down a fast attacking team to try and help them.
And there goes the half-time hooter. Dewsbury 6, Featherstone Rovers 22. So saw a bit of a nervy start from Featherstone Rovers. Dewsbury going on the team sheet first with that try from Teenby, and the goal was successful by Paul Sykes. However, Featherstone Rovers, it took them another 12 minutes before they got on the scoreboard. But they did with that lovely Luke Briscoe try. He showed great footwork to dance around the Dewsbury defenders, and Aston goaled that. And then Featherstone again, after the loss of Richard Moore, after he got sent off, Featherstone had a glut of tries. We had the Ian Hardman try where he backed up the break from Ash Handley. Aston goaled that, and then we had a penalty goal from Aston. And then Briscoe over on this right-hand side got his second try. Again, Aston goaled it, and Aston then, just with that penalty, just before the stroke of half-time, he's been 100% successful with the boot this afternoon, as Corey Aston made such a big difference to the scoreline. The fact that we are getting those successful conversions and penalties. So, a very eventful first half, Ben. Dewsbury 6, Featherstone Rovers 22.
Exciting first half as well, hasn't it? I mean, the key thing for me for Rovers, we talked about the start, how important it was for Rovers to get a good start this afternoon. They didn't get the start they wanted with that early try from the Rams for Teenby, but it was then important for Featherstone was how they responded to that try. Yes, you know, they couldn't do anything about it once it had gone, and it was important that they kept their heads up. The points were always going to come. And the response that we got once we got that first try, and the response as well, once Darryl Griffins made a huge change, impact since he came off the bench as well for Andy Bostock originally. But the turning point for me, surprisingly, in that first half, that swung it in Rovers' favour, I know it sounds strange, was the dismissal of Richard Moore, because you could see at that time when he had gone off the field, the other Rovers players around us are visibly lifted, and they seem to almost go up a gear, and they've been on top ever since.
If you think about it as well, just before Richard Moore got sent off, the play that led to that, it was that push from the scrum, and I think it was Aaron Brown for Dewsbury almost scored. And that would have levelled the scores up, I do believe, at that point if the conversion had been... no, it would have put Dewsbury in front. So if you think about it, going from a point where Dewsbury could have been in the lead, with Richard Moore then getting sent off, and then Featherstone getting this rejuvenated sort of like gritting attack almost, and that's led to a couple of tries from Featherstone Rovers that's led them to having this comfortable lead, let's say, at half time.
When that happened, when you have the disallowed try from the Rams, then you lose a player like that. It can go one of two ways. You can respond to it in one of two ways. A lot of teams you will see heads go down. That's an opportunity that Dewsbury bombed, and you lose a player so early in the game. It'd be so easy for the rest of the team, the heads to go down, especially after what happened last week, but they've responded so well, and I think a big part of that was the way that Darryl Griffin came on. He was so direct and aggressive in his running, and it seemed to be a calming influence almost on the team.
Certainly has. I mean, that is one thing that Featherstone Rovers, they might not be very good starters, but they do show patience during a game, don't they? They don't panic. Even though they were looking quite nervy, I must admit, in that first 10 minutes, they still kept plugging away, and it's as if their class will eventually show through. What we need to do, Featherstone Rovers, what they need to do is show that class from the very beginning.
Couple of other things, indeed, you're right, they have to get the starts right. They need to be stronger from the off. But I do want to give a mention to a couple of other players in that Rovers team. First of all, John Davis in that first half. A couple of almost exquisite passes that put Rovers players in the clear. But I think I've got to give big raps to Ian Hardman. It took a knock throughout, probably about in the early stages of that first half. But since then, it's been just as influential. He scored a superb try. Classic Ian Hardman backing up the break on that far side. But in his positional play again has just been superb.
John Davis, I didn't feel he had his best of games for Featherstone Rovers against Toulouse last week. He missed quite a few tackles. However, today he's been spot on, and he's probably been the standout player for Featherstone Rovers in both attack and defence. And he has been taking some of the kicking duties on. Perhaps some of the kicks haven't been the best, but certainly some of them have. And another player that I would mention, I felt made a big difference when he entered the field for that Bostock injury interchange, was Darryl Griffin. The way that he was progressing up the field and really leading by example, and that's what you'd expect an experienced prop like Griffin to do.
And what he needed at that particular time, when Darryl Griffin came on at that particular point for Andy Bostock, is he needed that calming influence at that particular time. You needed someone with an old head who could just take the game by the scruff of the neck and say, right, we're going to calm this down now. We're going to play this at the level we want to play it. It was just the right time, and it was just the calming influence that Rovers needed.
It certainly was. We're going to take a couple of minutes break before the teams re-enter the field for the second half. Please stay with us. Go make yourself a cup of tea, get yourself a beer, whatever you fancy doing, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Welcome back to the second half here at the Rams Stadium in Dewsbury. Rovers are back out for the second half. Dewsbury Rams 6, Featherstone Rovers 22. A comprehensive first half for Featherstone Rovers, an impressive first half, especially after the Rams came out with a 6-0 lead within the first 5 minutes, as the Rams are now out on the field. But more importantly for Rovers, they are down to 12 men. Richard Moore has been sent off after about 23 minutes of that first half, so it's important for Rovers to build up that lead in this second half, and it's important now as well that Rovers, how they use the interchanges as well. But we've just been talking to Joanne off air there about how well Rovers have played, and one of the things we mentioned about Johnny Davis that Joanne's just raised a good point. The way he's drawing players into the tackle, Joanne, it's creating the spaces on the outside.
Certainly is, yeah. He's like we said before half-time, he's been the standout player as Dewsbury about to kick off.
And so there is a kick-off from Guzdeck. It's taken easily enough by Ian Hardman, who finds Andy Bostock on that first charge. He looks to be okay again now. Went off as a concussion interchange in that first half. Here's Josh Walters now. Good defence though from the Rams. So Matty Wilde is on for Keil Carlisle in this first half interchange. An offload to Hardman, who's away. Hardman's away, he gets that ball outside to Davis. Davis cuts inside, what a break from Ian Hardman and Johnny Davis. Hardman had to play the ball swung in field, through the hands, here's Thackeray. Thackeray to Walters now, who comes in field, takes on the line, he gets just outside the 20. Walters plays the ball, centre field, 23 out. Here's Corey Aston now, he finds Hardman again. Forward pass though from Walton out there to Briscoe. So a good opportunity but not taken, and it's a good start for the Rovers though, Joanne.
It certainly is. I mean, that didn't end well, did it, with the forward pass from Walton out to Briscoe. Briscoe seeking that hat-trick there. But what we should take is the positive from that first set, the way that Featherstone made those metres up the field. Don't forget, with a man down for all of this second half after Richard Moore sending off in the first. So for Featherstone to be effective in making those metres forward against Dewsbury, who looked a little bit tired there, I must admit, it's good to see.
Good to see it is, and here are the Rams now then from that possession. Quick play the ball there from Dale Morton. The ball is driven in, but good defence from Featherstone Rovers, and it's driven in by Jack Teamby. He's 5 metres shy of the 40 from the acting halfback. Here's Anakin with that trademark Chris Anakin step, but he's well wrapped up though on this occasion.
I thought you were going to say trademark Chris Anakin bun then. Hair bun.
Here are the Rams now though. It's a good break down the centre of the field. It's Lucas Walshaw it is. He's up to the Rovers 20. Play the ball swung here. Here's Andy Kane now. He puts that ball in the air towards that far side. It's well taken there by the Rams, but good defence from Featherstone Rovers. That is on the last tackle, so it will be the turnover. In fact, it's a penalty conceded though. It was taken on that far side by Briscoe and then holding down.
Great play by Luke Briscoe on that right-hand side. He leapt well for that Andy Kane high kick that he'd put up that bomb, and he tried to gain his feet quickly we see Briscoe get in Featherstone Rovers lots of penalties by doing that because he's so quick to his feet.
Rovers then centre field with Thackeray. He swings that ball out wide to Lockwood. Lockwood drives that ball in. Rovers don't look to be a man down at the minute, the way they're throwing the ball around. Here's Chris Olungi now, he's over halfway into that Rams half. He's looking to get that ball away, but takes the tackle. That ball from Wilde out to Thackeray, delays the pass beautifully, takes out one man. Ash Hanley's almost away. Ash Hanley's away, he's got support inside from Wilde, and Matty Wilde is over for Featherstone Rovers.
Well played by Ash Hanley here on this left wing. He looked to have been wrapped up by Kane and Sykes. He wasn't though. He managed to evade them and push them off and showed his strength to go down that left, and Matty Wilde backing up well there. And the ball came out to Wilde, and Wilde got over just to the left-hand side of those uprights. So Featherstone Rovers getting the first score in this second half. Dewsbury 6, Featherstone Rovers 26 after only 4 minutes of this second half. Good play by Featherstone Rovers, and they've certainly come out the strongest team.
They don't look. If you were to say one of these mans is a player like, which you wouldn't think it was the Featherstone Rovers at the moment, would you?
Not at the moment, no. And Andy Kane's in a bit of strife. He's down in back players. Aston's looking to take this conversion attempt.
Andy Kane does not look in a good way. He's limping pretty badly at the moment. He won't want to lead the field against his former club. He's trying to walk off the injury. It looks to be to his right leg does the injury. He's just saying I want 2 minutes just to try and run it off. Corey Aston then with this conversion attempt. And that is successful. Straight between the uprights it goes. We've had 5 minutes of the second half here at Ram Stadium. It's Dewsbury Rams 6, Featherstone Rovers 28. I think the bench were trying to bring Andy Kane off them, but he doesn't want to come off, Joanne.
No, he got injured in the build-up to that Featherstone Rovers try in his attempt to tackle Ash Handley. Like I say, Ash Handley, definitely the try maker there. He looked as though he got nowhere to go, but he managed to throw off quite a few Dewsbury tacklers to make that break.
So the kick-off then from Josh Guzdeck. Sorry, here's Andy Bostock again. He gets that ball away. So Rovers, there's a confidence in the play. Despite being down to 12 men, there's a real confidence about Rovers at the minute. Davis moves that ball out to Briscoe. Over on that far side, but good defence. Briscoe looks to have taken a knock himself there, but back to his feet. Here's Josh Walters now. Walters going back to where the play's just come. Ball swung in field now. Aston finds Thackeray. Thackeray moves it out further. It's found its way to Ash Hanley again. Ash Hanley this time well wrapped up by Lucas Walshaw. Plays the ball to Thackeray, shows it left, goes right to Lockwood. And Rovers are 5 metres short of halfway now. On the last tackle. Thackeray puts that kick over. That's a better kick. It's superb kick from Anthony Thackeray.
Game management, that, Ben, isn't it, at its finest. We saw Thackeray early on in that first half not putting great kicks in on the last, but that down this left-hand side, that was great to see. Absolutely
fantastic kick. You just said it, game management. How important, we said it in that first half and in the start of this second half, as Andy Kane has had to lead the field. Tried to run that injury off, he was not able to do so. We are going to see Hamish Barnes.
So that was a great kick by Anthony Thackeray, wasn't it? He went just inside the field of play near this left-hand touchline. So Featherstone with this scrum on the 10-metre line, I think they're just deciding who's going to actually put this. Oh, they're waiting for a ball. Got two now. It's like a bus, isn't it?
But yeah, superb play there by Anthony Thackeray, and that's just what we need. Rovers, when you're a man down, when you are down to 12 men, it is important you respect the football. Put the right kicks in at the right time. But here at Dewsbury now, 12 metres out from their own line with Jason Crooks. He plays that ball. The ball's in field to Dan Igbenedian. I've now got the pleasure of trying to say his name for the whole of the second half. And there's a scoop from Matson half there by the Rams. An untidy play, the ball. Referee's given a penalty though to Dewsbury. Michael Seal, I think it was, who won that penalty. Rovers not clearing the ruck, so it'll be a relieving penalty for the Rams.
Thackeray not happy with himself there and giving that penalty away, because it does put Dewsbury into the Featherstone Rovers half.
And they will start on the Rovers 40-metre line. There is that tap from Seal. It finds Paul Sykes. Paul Sykes moves that ball in to Jack Teamby. Teamby will play that ball. And the ball is good to chat. It's Paul Sykes again, sorry. He will play that ball now to Michael Seo. Seo finds Teamby. Through the hands it goes. Working the ball out towards that left-hand side through the hands of Guzdeck. And that's good play there from the centre. It's Jason Crooks, in fact. And the Rams 10 metres out from that Rovers line. 5 in from touch. Through the hands of Aaron Brown now. Here's Chris Anakin. Anakin driving for those sticks, but good defence from Featherstone Rovers. So 3 metres away, that's a scoop from Atson half. By the Rams, it was in fact Michael Seo, but he wasn't able to get the ball down. It was on the last tackle. No, fourth tackle, sorry.
Yeah, they're going back for that. A 10-metre play was held up over the line, was Michael Seo. He went from dummy half. It's the last tackle now.
That's why I was confused. Paul Sykes then, ball in hand, gets a kick over the top. Easy for Ash Hanley. Just a little bit too much on there from Paul Sykes. And Ash Hanley will take them all day.
Certainly will, won't he? Sykes with that kick, but he went straight into the grateful arms of Ash Handley as Featherstone Rovers are bringing it away from their own 10 metres.
Here's Ian Hardman now. Good defence from Dewsbury, pinning Rovers back in their own 20. Hardman plays the ball, it's moved out right. Quick defensive line, Rovers. The referee says that's gone backwards, and Josh Walters is away. Walters with the inside pass.
But
that was a tackle on Anthony, it was Corey Aston, who was backing up then. We'll come back to Joanne on that in a minute though. Rovers there bringing it forward, Darryl Griffin. He gets up to the 20. Griffin plays the ball, so the ball swung left. Thackeray is on the last, puts a kick in behind. Good play from Josh Guzdeck to read that, but that was great play from Rovers.
it was, the ball went backwards and it was picked up, and then Josh Walters was the one that took the break down the middle of the field, and Corey Aston backing up well, took the pass from Walters. He was hauled down round his shirt collar by Hamish Barnes, and then the ball was played, and Featherstone attacking into that Dewsbury 10 metres, but it was a kick from Thackeray. It was well fielded by Josh Guzdeck, so Dewsbury now taking it forward away from their own line.
It's got 10.5 minutes gone here in the second half. Dewsbury Rams 6, Featherstone Rovers 28. And the Rams in possession just short of their own 40. So the ball swung in field. It's Paul Sykes now. Sykes with a long kick again though. Straight down the throat of Ash Hanley. Ash Hanley able to return that ball, and he'll get just short of his own 40, so not the best kick there from Paul Sykes. And he will play the ball, and Anthony Thackeray moves it out wide to Alunya. Chris Alunya going forward.
25, Josh Walters, replaced by number 16, Luke Cooper.
As Luke Cooper comes on, and he's a twinkle toes from Cooper. He finds Ian Hardman. Hardman well wrapped up there by Igbedian. It's still going though, Ian Hardman, and there's a penalty for not clearing the ruck. And Rovers are going to take the 2, are they?
Ian Hardman straight away put 2 fingers up in the air and said, we'll take the 2, thank you very much. And I think you said it earlier in the match, didn't you, Ben, about the fact that when you're down to 12 men, you take your points when you can.
Absolutely, and Ian Hardman there, he was still going with 3 players on his back. He must have made it near enough another 5-10 metres. But Rovers will take the 2. We've got just coming up to 12 minutes gone in the second half. And it's still, I know I said it earlier on, but it still looks to me like 13 on 13.
It certainly does, and lovely play by Luke Cooper as well, just fresh on the field in that build-up.
Twinkle toes, wasn't it?
It was.
The Rams have made a double change. Off comes Igbenedian, thank you. Not saying I don't like him, but it's made our job a lot easier, hasn't it? So Corey Aston now. And Teamby's come off as well for the Rams. So Corey Aston now. There's the kick, he goes straight between the uprights. We've had 12.5 minutes in the second half here at Rams Stadium. And it's Dewsbury Rams 6, Featherstone Rovers 30.
It's a very comfortable scoreline now for Featherstone Rovers, isn't it? 24 points gap in the lead, which should set Featherstone up for the remainder of this second half.
It's going to be Guzdeck who will get the restart of the game. Straight down the throat of Ian Hardman. Here's Luke Cooper driving that ball in. That's a good first drive. He'll makes it up to the 20-metre line as well, so good metres made from Cooper there. The ball's moved in field. That was a suspect pass, shall we say.
Very flat.
Darryl Griffin and started now. The play's coming on this far near side with Lockwood.
Griffin
It's
and Ward it is that are
Griffin
having a
and
little
Robbie
bit
Ward.
of a set to in the middle of the field.
The referee was trying to let it go and trying to let the play continue, but Robbie Ward and Darryl Griffin just weren't separating them, were they?
No, it looks like I say, a very flat, perhaps even a little bit forward pass there to Darryl Griffin. Darryl Griffin got tackled. Robbie Ward and Darryl Griffin not happy after that play the ball and the set two with one another, and had a little bit in the middle. Like you say, the referee was trying to continue the play, but Ward and Griffin weren't happy to do that. They wanted to continue their disagreement, and the referee's having a chat with them now.
So referee Mr. Robinson, in discussion with both of them, is going back to give their penalties to Dewsbury.
Daft penalty to give away if Darryl Griffin was the perpetrator of that. You don't need to be giving cheap penalties away like that when you're on the ascendancy.
When you're 24 points up, down to 12 men, 15 minutes nearly into the second half, you don't need to do it, do you?
Certainly not, no.
Here are the Rams then, driving that ball in now is Mitch Stringer. It's been a bit of a feisty game all afternoon, this, hasn't it?
Certainly has. I don't know what Mitch Stringer's doing on the floor there with Griffin.
And so here is Michael Seo. Darryl Griffin seems to want to be involved in everything at the minute. And so here are the Rams then. Paul Sykes moves that ball out wide through the hands. Ooh. That was Jason Walton. And this, Rovers need to get a message out to the players just to calm this down, don't we?
Just need to be a little bit careful, don't they? It was Jason Walton on Jason Crooks. Was a bit of a high shot by Jason Walton, more of a grab, I'd say, more than anything intentional. So I think he'll just get a chat about his technique from the referee. Maybe even put it on report, I don't know. He's going to have a chat with the captains as well. He's calling Paul Sykes and Ian Harmon out.
That's sensible play, speaking to both the captains. This seems to have boiled over in the last few minutes, and it's just it'll just be saying calm it down, won't it?
Although I would say that Jason Crooks has meted out plenty of these high shots in his career, so perhaps it's just
I
one
don't
back.
believe that at all.
It's called karma.
The penalty has gone to the Rams, so Rovers just need to be careful.
In the field, number 8, Darryl Griffin.
That's sensible play from John Sharp. Darryl Griffin has been withdrawn, and on has come Jordan Baldwinson. So here are the Rams then. And the ball swung out wide. Here's Paul Sykes again. Over on that left-hand side, it's a good drive in, and the Rams are over. No, says the referee, it's been knocked on. So a try ruled out by Mr. Robinson. A card's coming out. And who's that gone to? I think a card has come out, and I think it's been given to Paul Sykes.
Yeah, I didn't quite see what that's for, did you?
I can only presume it's dissent for the disallowed try.
Yeah, well, the try obviously disallowed there, and referee disallowed it, and he didn't like what he heard from Paul Sykes there, the referee, and he's got his yellow card out. So both teams down to 12 men for the next 10 minutes.
Paul Sykes has had something to say to the fourth official. Not happy at all with that try being disallowed. But here are Rovers now. So Rovers are back on a level playing field. Anthony Thackeray. That's good defence so from Jack Teamby coming in to back that tackle up.
Mitch Stringer in.
Mitch Stringer, sorry.
Could have been penalised there on Thackeray. I think this game's going to get quite nasty if this carries on.
It's bubbling nicely, isn't it? So,
nastily.
Well, nastily, sorry. Here's Wildy, finds Luke Cooper. Rovers into the Dewsbury half. Thackeray now. Here's Olunya, tries to step inside, but is well wrapped up by Lucas Walshaw. Thackeray again finds Cooper again. Cooper drives that ball in, but good defence from Robbie Ward. Cooper 15 metres out, just to the left of the uprights. Through the hands of Aston, it finds Johnny Davis. Davis finds Walton. And I think, was that the last tackle? It
was.
So that's a turnover. I didn't see a signal from the referee then.
No, but it is a turnover. I'm just looking at Walton. He's got his right knee heavily strapped out there. I think that must have been applied at half-time, and after that tackle, he just limped back into the line. As you can see, he's just limping a little bit out there, so that's not good news.
Something I'm sure Rovers team will be aware of that, and they'll be monitoring that one as well. So here at Dewsbury, 25 out from their own line, attacking that Rovers defence. But look at that defence. Baldwinson in that tackle, along with Matty Wilde. Stringer moves that ball in field, and the Rams only on their own 40. Good play from Robbie Ward. He swung that pass out wide over onto that far side, and the Rams go over halfway. That's a good break inside from Dale Morton, taking on that Rovers line.
Great tackle by Luke Cooper there, and it's the last tackle for Dewsbury.
And so here is the last, and there's a kick. It's a high one, but it's more flat than anything. Taken well by Alunya. Alunya brings it in field, takes on the line. Half breaks from Alunya. He's got Ash Hanley away. Hanley's found Aston. But what a tackle that one was.
I think it's going to boil over again there. That was Jason Crooks. It looked to be, I'm not quite sure what kind of tackle that was. It could have been a little bit dirty, and Featherstone player reacted.
It was a crunching tackle, I'll say that much. But it's been bubbling this, hasn't it?
It has. Who was the Featherstone player that reacted to that Jason Crooks tackle? Did you see who it was?
I didn't see who reacted.
No.
But again, time is being called off, and the referee needs to do something here, because if he's not careful, this is going to boil over.
I think it could have been, is it James Lockwood out there? Oh no, it's Luke Briscoe, is it? The one with orange boots.
A penalty has gone to Featherstone though for a high tackle.
It was Luke Briscoe that suffered the high tackle. I've finally established it.
So another penalty then for Featherstone Rovers just on halfway. So Aston, what a great touch finder that is from Aston, and Rovers are going to have a full set now in the Rams 20, and an opportunity here for more points. We've got 19 and a half minutes gone here in the second half. Still Dewsbury Rams 6, Featherstone Rovers 30. Here's Jordan Baldwinson. Thackeray now. Thackeray finds Arunya. That's a shoulder charge from Potts. Gareth Potts there. The touch judge comes straight onto that one. Gareth Potts put the shoulder charge in. The touch judge saw it. He came straight onto the field and said there was a shoulder charge there. So
if the touch judge has seen this as he came onto the field, this should be a yellow card at the very least if it was a shoulder charge that they deem. So Dewsbury could end up with somebody else in the bin, and the referee's going to his back. He's going to his back pocket.
The card is out of shoulder. It has been deemed a shoulder charge, I presume. So Gareth Potts is in the sin bin as well. And for the next few minutes, Dewsbury Rams are down to 11.
Featherstone Rovers with the player advantage. Who'd have thought that would have happened?
Featherstone Rovers down to 12 men. They've got a player advantage.
So 20 minutes remaining in this game. It's Dewsbury 6, Featherstone Rovers 30.
And here's Rovers and Lockwood driving that ball in. It's held up a couple of metres shy of the line. Wilde finds Thackeray now. Thackeray to Alunya. He's put the ball down. So the knock-on is going to be given here. It'll be a scrum down, head and feed on the Rams 10 for the Dewsbury Rams.
Disappointing that, wasn't it? Because it wasn't a half bad pass from Thackeray to Alunya, and Alunya would have been over the line if he'd have taken that ball properly, Ben.
If Alunya could have taken that in, just imagine how that would have affected the Dewsbury team as well. Just have another player sin bin, go down to 11. If you then concede a try within the first couple of tackles of the next set, it's going to send your heads down even further, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. But as it is, Featherstone didn't score, and Dewsbury have got this scrum on their own 10-metre line.
That scrum then, Michael Seal fed the scrum. He was looked to. Oh, look at that pushback from Rovers, pushing him back nearly 5-6 metres, and the Rams now, they're rocked by this. Luke Cooper, Johnny Davis and Jordan Baldwinson in that tackle, and Rovers now, they can sense blood. Here's Mitch Stringer, but there's a penalty. Not square at the play of the ball. Rovers at the minute, Joe, and I think can sense blood at the minute.
I think they do, yeah. They were up very quickly, weren't they? They're on the Dewsbury players, and they have been quite rightly penalised for that. So Brown, with that kick to touch, takes Dewsbury into the Featherstone Rovers half.
So the Rams then. Robbie Ward taps that ball. He moves it on to Michael Seo. Seo gets up to the 40. Mitch Stringer. That's a good drive in from Stringer. He's got the ball away to Ward as well. But well read by the Rovers defence there, wrapping Robbie Ward up very quickly.
Good tackling by Matty Wilde it was.
Here's Chris Anakin now. The Rams on the Rovers 20. Robbie Ward from in half back. He finds Mitch Stringer again. Stringer driving that ball in at James Lockwood, but good defence there.
Mick Stringer taking an age to get up there. What's going on? What is
And
Mitch
it
Stringer
started
doing?
again now with Mitch Stringer and Chris Alunga.
What was Mitch Stringer doing there, though? I thought he was having a 10-minute siesta on the 10-metre line. Why didn't he get up to play the ball? There was nobody on him.
Nobody on him. He just didn't seem to want to get up at all.
I think he was having a nap.
Chris Alunga was in the tackle. The penalty's been given, though, for holding down
Amazing.
against Chris Alunga.
Can you hold down when you're not even on somebody?
Apparently he can. So Robbie Ward takes that tap. And here's Michael Seo again. But look at that Rovers defence, though, Joanne. 3-4 men in every tackle.
That's an incorrect play, the ball. Oh,
The penalty, another penalty.
to Dewsbury this time.
Mitch Stringer again now, Brown. Here's Josh Guzdak, he slows up. Didn't want to take that line on. In the end, he comes back across field, still going, but eventually wrapped up. The Rams are 15 metres out centre field. Here's Walshaw then now. Breaks one tackle, but he gets the ball away. And a Dewsbury going over. No, they're not. Look at that defence from Featherstone Rovers. It was Hamish Barnes who looked to have a gap for a minute. Brown, though, finds Guzdak. Through the hands now to Seo over on that far side. Corey Aston, that's great defence, though. And the Rams have made a hash of it. But they've still got possession. They've lost a lot of yards, though. Here's Guzdak as well. Crooks now. Swings a long pass out wide towards Barnes. Barnes, though, well chopped down by Ash Hanley. A forward pass is given. And the Rams are lots of passing about. Didn't seem to go anywhere, did that?
It went on forever, did that set, didn't it? I'm just trying to think about it to sum it up. But yeah, great Featherstone Rovers defence there, right from when Barnes looked as though he was going to be going in, right over to the left-hand side of the Dewsbury attack. Corey Aston with a great push on Michael Seo, and that caused Dewsbury to lose so much ground because Seo had to get rid of the ball because Aston was about to push him into touch. And then it came across into the middle, and Crooks gave that forward pass out to Barnes on this right wing. So Featherstone Rovers with the scrum now on their own 20-metre line, and Dewsbury not got enough players in the pack.
And that's what Anthony Thackeray was trying to claim there, saying they haven't got enough players in. I think Josh Guzdak, who's in at acting scrum half there, was trying to be the sixth man in the scrum, I think. Anyway, here come Featherstone now.
Paul Sykes has just re-entered the field, so we're back to 12 players all.
And Josh Walters has just come back on for Luke Cooper.
Great stint by Luke Cooper. He's wanting to put his name up in reckoning for a first team place, and he's not done himself any harm this afternoon with that performance.
Here's Josh Walters. I think we're going to see the return of Darryl Griffin as well soon.
It looks like it down there.
And here's Lockwood now. Over halfway go Featherstone Rovers. Wilde finds Thackeray to Alunga, out to Ash Hanley. Ash Hanley steps inside. He's had the ball stolen, though. It's going to be a penalty. I think Paul Sykes knew. There's a smile on Paul Sykes' face as I know that was stolen, sir.
To be honest, you could have argued that Luke Briscoe had got a loose carry there. he did have the ball behind his back, but unfortunately when there's two defenders in on a tackle, unfortunately for Dewsbury, you're always going to get pinged for that, and that's what's happened. So Featherstone Rovers with this penalty, 35 metres away from the line as Thackeray kicks it into touch.
Rovers are going to start 15 metres out from the Dewsbury Lands line, 10 metres in from touch. On this left-hand side, it's Johnny Davis who's come off for Darryl Griffin. Here goes Lockwood now. Lockwood driving that ball in. Rovers 8 metres away. There's another penalty. Dewsbury players are on that line, throw their hands in the air in frustration.
Sorry, I was just going to say it was Michael Co that was holding Matty Wildy down there. So is this going to be another 2?
It is. Corey Aston has the kicking tee. It's just been brought on. But I was watching the reaction of the Dewsbury players then, Joanne, after that penalty was given. About half a dozen of the arms of the players went up in the air in frustration, conceding another penalty. We've got 12 minutes left here at Rams Stadium. It's Dewsbury Rams 6, Featherstone Rovers 30. And when you think Rovers have played the best part of we're going to have played the best part of an hour with 12 men, this has been pretty comprehensive.
It certainly has, hasn't it? Yeah, I think Richard Moore was shown the red card on 23 minutes. So as you say, the best part of the game, as Aston kicks that penalty, it goes through the post. So it's Dewsbury Rams 6, Featherstone Rovers 32, with 12 minutes remaining.
The Rovers looking good at the moment, so the Rams just slow coming back to the line. I think you can probably expect that one, to be fair. They'll be taking in all the air they can at the moment and getting a breather as best they can.
Sorry, Ben, I was just going to say, it has to be said that Dewsbury do look a basement side this afternoon, don't they? You know, full credit to Featherstone Rovers that they didn't panic after going behind early doors, but they're letting themselves down, aren't they?
When you think they've got 13 men, I know they've had 20 minutes, 2 players in sin bin, but they've played the best part of a half against 12 men, and the 12 men, it looks like it's the other way around to me.
They're a very ill-disciplined side as well. There's a penalty there, as I say, about this ill-discipline. So that was for offside, a penalty against CO and Anakin, I think it was. They're just an ill-disciplined outfit, Dewsbury, and unfortunately that's what happens when you are trying to chase games and you're not at your best.
So Rovers then, on the back of that penalty, find themselves back in the Dewsbury half. It'll be Matty Wildy with that tapper to James Lockwood. Lockwood will drive that ball in. I think Wildy's done well at scrum half. Atson Harsis has come on as well for Carlisle. Here's Thackeray now. Thackeray back to Wildy again. Wildy with a step and tries to go himself. Is well wrapped up though by Walshaw. Plays the ball. Thackeray now to Griffin. Griffin moves it on to Aston. Aston to Walters. Flat pass, shall we say?
Yeah.
Wildy again. Thackeray again. Pass to Chris Olunya. Olunya going back across field. He finds Walters again. So back where we started on that play. Featherstone Rovers 8 metres out. Baldwinson. Thackeray. Hardman, well wrapped up eventually by Sykes, but he gets the ball away to Hanley. Sykes drops off, Hanley still going, kicks for the line. That's great play from Ash Hanley.
It certainly was beautiful play by Ash Hanley. Again, it came out on that left-hand side. Sykes had done well. He'd put the pressure on Hardman. Hardman had got the ball away, and Sykes still went after Ash Hanley there, but he managed to throw Sykes off, and then he put a kick in on this left-hand side, and it went through. It was well fielded. I think it was by the fullback Goodsdeck. However, Ash Hanley followed his kick up and tackled him behind the line to force this drop out.
So the dropout's taken, finds Anthony Thackeray on the 40. Thackeray moves the ball into Griffin. Griffin makes 15 metres, he's tackled 5 metres shy of the Rams 20, centre field. Wildy moves that ball into Baldwinson, who gets over that 20. He gets Rovers 15 metres out underneath those sticks now. Aston again. Aston moves that ball out, but it's put down by Ian Hardman. So Rovers have lost that opportunity, and here come the Rams with Dale Morton. He makes a good 10 metres, he offloads. Dale Morton offloaded then, and Corey Aston read the offload, but the referee said it was held, so Morton will play the ball. Mitch Stringer bounces off one, gets that ball away, it's moved out wide. And that's good play from the Rams, and it's starting off again, Joanne.
That was an awful tackle there, over there. I think, was it James Lockwood? No, it was Luke Briscoe.
I didn't see the tackle myself,
Oh,
I have to admit.
he tipped the Dewsbury player's legs off the ground. It could have been very dangerous, and Briscoe's going to go off here for that. It's a red card for Luke Briscoe. Absolutely no doubt in that. As soon as I saw that tackle, it was a shocking technique of a tackle. Such a shame, because Luke Briscoe's had a fantastic afternoon here at Dewsbury Rams, scoring 2 tries. But unfortunately, we can't allow tackles like that in the game, and it looked pretty bad as he tipped the Dewsbury play. It was poor technique, really.
I will be honest, I did not see the tackle myself, so I can't say either way, but Rovers now down to 11 men for the remainder of this game. It's a penalty to Dewsbury. There's been all sorts going on, hasn't there, this afternoon?
Certainly has.
Here at Dewsbury now, though, with Michael Co. So, Paul Sykes now. Sykes takes on the line, he moves that ball out to Brown. Brown changes direction, brings that ball back in field, is standing at the minute. Eventually wrapped up by Rovers on the 20-metre line. Couple of metres to the left of the uprights. Robbie Ward now finds the big brought forward Mitch Stringer. He gets up to the 10-metre line, he's well wrapped up though, couldn't get that ball away. Dewsbury centre field now, the ball comes out left with Brown. Moves that ball on further, but Dewsbury are standing at the moment. And the ball eventually finds Robbie Ward again. Ward swings a pass out wide to Walshaw. Walshaw moves it down this near side. Are the Rams over in the corner? No. Great defence from Featherstone Rovers.
When you think that Featherstone Rovers have got 2 less players than Dewsbury Rams, that was excellent sliding defence by Featherstone Rovers. Dewsbury trying to use that 2-man advantage to get it out wide, but the Featherstone defence was good and put the Dewsbury player into touch. Was it Barnes, I think
It was over.
Oh, was it Potts? Potts is back on, isn't he?
Yes, it was Gareth Potts, it was.
Yeah, so Dewsbury back up to a full complement, and John Davis, it looks as though he's going to re-enter the field for Featherstone Rovers.
Rovers have done so well this afternoon, and there's been a lot of positives from today. When you think how they responded to going behind early doors, how they responded to being down to 12 men for a large part of this game, and now down to 11. As Zachary feeds that scrum, and here's Chris Alunya.
Bit of a grapple tackle from Stringer.
I can say the arm wants to be around the neck there. Then we've got 6 minutes left here at Ram Stadium. Here's Luke Cooper. He's come back on. As John Davis comes back on as well.
Jason Walton, replaced by number 12, John Davis.
It's Jason Walton who's been withdrawn. Here's Josh Walters.
He's been struggling with that right leg, as Jason Walton, and like I say, it's heavily strapped.
A grimace on his face, he's walking back towards the dugout as well. So here's Johnny Davis now, over halfway for Featherstone Rovers. The Rams are going to make a double interchange. We're going to see the return of Danik Benedian for the last 5 minutes. We're also going to see the return of Teamby. There's a kick from Rovers though. Just finding touch there, down to 11 men now. That's, again, game management.
Great kick there by Matty Wilde, driving the ball into touch. He knows that his team have got 11 players out there, and they're going to have to do this last 5 minutes or so tough. So you want to eat up that clock and save the lungs of the forwards really while that's happening. So Featherstone Rovers putting that into touch, and Dewsbury are going to put the ball in the scrum 15 metres away from their own line. Not a bad place really to be turning over possession.
Not bad at all when you think what the position that Rovers find themselves in. But here are the Rams with Walshaw attacking down this near side, but good defence from Rovers. Here's Paul Sykes now, finds Chris Anakin. Anakin gets just short of halfway.
Bologna ripping Guzdek's shirt there, so he's got a ripped shirt out there at the moment.
Through the hands it goes. Here's Igbenedian. I think I've got used to that name now, right at the end of the game. There's good break, but the ball's put down to ground again. So it is going to be scrum down, head and feet to Rovers. I'll give you a minute or two to think about your man of the match. We've got just over 4 minutes left here at Ram Stadium. Dewsbury 6, Featherstone 32.
Guzdek just changing his shirt out there, so he'll finish the game with number 28 on the back of his shirt, which is Brandon Douglas's shirt.
Did I just hear the Rams man of the match right then? I could have sworn they said number 7, Andy Kane. Did I just hear that right then?
I don't know. I was too busy watching the player changing his shirt.
I wonder why, Joanne. Here are Featherstone Rovers then, just 5 metres short of halfway. Lockwood plays the ball. Here's Alunya. Wildy waits. He finds Darryl Griffin. Rovers now 30 metres out from the Dewsbury line. 15 in from touch on this near side. Thackeray now dances around one. He finds Ash Hanley. Ash Hanley shows good strength. There he gets 15 metres out now. Can Rovers get another score with 2.5 left on the clock? Here's Wildy. Ash Hanley on the Rams 10 metre line. Finds Thackeray. Thackeray with an inside pass to Hardman. Hardman finds Hanley. That is a great effort. Is it going to be given? Yes, it is. What a superb try from Featherstone Rovers.
Yeah, so the ball was there. It came to Ian Hardman. Ian Hardman looked to be in space, but he kept the ball alive to Ash Hanley. Ash Hanley looked to put the ball over the line. He got the ball in his left hand. He tried to put the ball over the line. He realised that he couldn't. He was getting hauled down by the Dewsbury players, and he managed to slip that ball to Corey Aston, who got over the line to put the ball down. So great try there by Featherstone Rovers. So it's Dewsbury 6, Featherstone Rovers 36 with a couple of minutes of play, and Aston looking for a ball at the moment to take this conversion. It seems the balls seem to have gone AWOL. He's got 100% with the boot this afternoon as Corey Aston.
We've finally got a ball out to Corey Aston, but just while we're lining up this conversion attempt for Corey Aston, there's been a lot of impressive performances for Rovers this afternoon. When you think of the circumstances they've found themselves in throughout the afternoon, Joanne, with yellow cards, red cards, you name it. But who's impressed you first of all for Rovers this afternoon?
Man of the match, John Davis. I'll wait till Aston converts this try, because I'm sure he will, because it's more or less under the post. And there we go, the ball goes through the middle of the post there. It's Dewsbury Rams 6, Featherstone Rovers 38. And just a minute of this second half left, a minute of this game. Yeah, John Davis for me, man of the match, just purely because of his play out on the flanks, the creation that he's done with his offloads, but there could have been lots of contenders. Actually, there goes the final hooter. So Featherstone Rovers with a convincing victory this afternoon. Dewsbury Rams 6, Featherstone Rovers 38. against
Final score
the ailing Dewsbury Rams
6,
club.
Featherstone Rovers 38.
Featherstone, it's been a feisty game this afternoon. We've seen lots of 2 red cards for Featherstone Rovers. They finished the game with 11 men, which makes this victory even more impressive against Dewsbury Rams. The fact that they've won by such a margin, the fact that they've had 2 red cards this afternoon. But Featherstone Rovers, that went into that break 22 points to 6 up, and it was Featherstone who came out strong in that second half. Saw the Wildy try that made it 26-6, and Aston converted it. He's been impeccable with the boot this afternoon as Aston. And then Featherstone had to wait a while and eventually got an Aston penalty, which took them 30 points to 6. And then we saw the Luke Briscoe red card, which was uncharacteristic for him, and it was almost as if he'd got a bad technique on the player. It didn't look intentional, but it certainly was illegal challenge as he lifted the player up in the air, and the legs went above the horizontal. And then at the end there of the game, we saw that Aston try, and he converted his own try to make it Dewsbury Rams 6, Featherstone Rovers 38, the final score. So it's what was needed, wasn't it, Ben, after that loss to Toulouse last week?
We needed a response today. We needed as much for the players to get a belief back into the team, and they've responded. They've done what they needed to do. They had a tough start to the game in the opening 5 minutes with that opening try for the Dewsbury Rams, but since then they've scored 38 unanswered points. They've dominated the game. To say when you think they've played the best part of an hour with 12 men, the best part of an hour with 12 men, and then 11
8 minutes with 11 men, yeah.
To score 38 unanswered points, and to look as if you don't look as if you're a man light or 2 men light, just shows the strength and desire that this Featherstone Rovers team have got.
Certainly does, as the Featherstone Rovers fans that have travelled to Dewsbury today, they've liked what they've seen. They're cheering away at the players, and Corey Aston comes over to I think, is it Missy Talapapa down there? Oh no, it's I'm not sure who it is, but he comes over and gets a hug from some people in the crowd. I think there's some former Sheffield teammates, and he's actually had a good game as Corey Aston this afternoon, hasn't he?
He has. He's done really well, Corey Aston. He's been impeccable with the boot for a start, and his general kicking game has been played really well today. I think Rovers needed this win just to get a bit of belief back into themselves after the troubles they've been having at home.
They certainly did. So a good afternoon for Featherstone Rovers. Featherstone Rovers have come out victors here. Dewsbury Rams 6, Featherstone Rovers 38. We're going to pack up now and go and have a chat with some of the players and John Sharp to get their reaction from that game today. And the scores from the Kingston Press Championship Round 8 are Dewsbury 6, Featherstone Rovers 38, Halifax 38, Swinton 28, Hull KR 50, Batley 16, Oldham 26, Bradford 22, Rochdale 14, Toulouse 52, Sheffield 32, London 20. That leaves Featherstone in third place, 2 points clear of London. Hull KR still top the table.